Donald Trump pleaded not guilty Tuesday to 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first ever criminal arraignment of a former U.S. president. Trump surrendered at a New York courthouse and then was arraigned on charges related to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's hush money payment probe. Since then, Trump has flown back home to his Mar-a-Lago club in Florida, wherein he has delivered a speech. He said that he has done nothing but defended his nation. Now, we're going to also discuss in this broadcast what as the former US President Donald Trump has been arrested, reactions are pouring in from across the world with world leaders, the likes of El Salvador's president and Hungary's prime minister. El Salvador's president Nayib Bukele has stated that the US government has arrested the main opposition candidate and that the United States' ability to use democracy, he's put that in quotes, as foreign policy is gone. Meanwhile, Hungary's PM Viktor Orban has urged Trump to keep on fighting. Rajalakshmi Joshi also is in fact with us. Rajalakshmi Joshi, do you think this is, when the Rahul Gandhi incident happened in India, it was Germany and other countries in Europe which decided to discuss that. Do you think this also merits a conversation in Europe, in their parliaments, as they choose to do when it comes to India and India's affairs?
A very good morning. I spoke a while ago on your channel, and yes, we are all amused to see how the people who had actually expressed concerns over the conviction of Rahul Gandhi, which was actually the case was being held in an independent court, and yet after all the proceedings, after 4 years. The case has been going on for 4 years. So after that, the European countries, especially Germany and America, they had expressed concerns over what is happening, and they had said that we are watching the situation. So today, if you look at it, then this case against Mr. Trump is not by it's not by an individual, but it is by the DA, which is who is an elected official, if you remember. So and he's a Democrat. So there is a huge difference in the situation, the similarities between what is happening with Donald Trump and what is happening with Rahul Gandhi ends at the fact that they are both they both have some charges against them. That is all. But who has levied those charges and what exactly is the extent is completely different in both the cases. So there ends the similarity. Now, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he may claim for all he wants that that is this kind of a political vendetta, etc., but he should have been extremely careful about what he speaks on a public forum, and he cannot make a racial slur. He cannot make a slur against the OBC community. So that is something that he should have been careful about. And whereas against Mr. Trump, the charges, as I understand, they are not to the extent that he could be facing arrest. There could be a lot of penalty, some fines could be levied against him, but he doesn't really. I don't think that he could be facing arrest, though he was arrested for a brief while and then he was released on bail. But in the long run, I don't see that thing happening. So these countries who always keep talking about these matters as if they are some keepers of democracy. So there, during his midterm speech, when Joe Biden, he was asked about Mr. Trump's possibility of returning to power, he had said we will use all possible powers in the Constitution to make sure that he doesn't return to power. So this thing, obviously they are using their powers for sure, but in India the things run differently. Our courts are independent, our judiciary is independent, our investigating agencies.
All right, so we'll discuss it. We'll discuss this further. Rajalakshmi Joshi, final word. Do you think there is hypocrisy, double standards of the West, of Europe, of these media outlets when it comes to reportage on the United States, with as opposed to what it happens for India and other places?
Yes, definitely. Now, without going into who has the advantage or who is right or wrong, I would say that the Western media has completely gone silent on the fact that here the case is by an elected official of the Democratic Party. So that actually is a huge difference between what is happening in India and the United States of America. And yet, the Western media, they always speak about how Narendra Modi ji, he is portrayed as some kind of an autocratic leader, whereas the agencies, the independent agencies, they are only doing their task. The whether it may be about the ED, whether it may be about the courts, the judiciary in our country, they perform independently, whereas in the US, they are by the elected officials. So this should have been brought out, but then they choose to neglect this issue, and they choose to always keep portraying India as some country that is always inferior to the West. Whereas we have a very transparent system, and I think that whether it may be about elections or about the judiciary or these investigating agencies, our country is completely transparent, and there are I mean, everything is out there in the open. It's just the opposition parties who, when they find themselves in trouble, they keep talking about political vendetta. So this is something that the Western media has always portrayed India in bad light, and I think that that is complete double standards. They talk about the US as some great democracy. I am not saying that nobody should be questioned or interrogated, or there should be no cases against Donald Trump. But the same media and the same countries who spoke about the conviction of Rahul Gandhi as some fall of democracy, I think their silence right now, or their double standards, is quite visible, and I think that that is something that it speaks for itself.